A few months ago, another YouTuber called Orange Balloon attempted this very challenge and reached round 200 with only 2 towers on screen at a time. Wait, round 200? Why did he stop? Did the fortified bats get too much or something?
Now, I could go more into the 200s, but nah, maybe that's for another video.
Oh, in that case, don't mind if I pick up the slack. Let's jump right into this. Of course, I'm playing on logs, and I start off this run by buying a dart monkey. Oh, the dart monkey, how gracefully it pops these red balloons. So anyways, the round after I buy a farm, because it's time to make some cash. It's fine that the dart monkey won't be defending perfectly. I'll end up with more than 200 lives very soon once I really get going with the farming. So I can just leave this dart monkey to defend by itself until I can upgrade this farm to a 230 monkey bank, and I will hold onto this bank for as long as I can, you'll see. Once the bank is bought, I'll have enough money left to sell the dart monkey and replace it with a boat, upgrading it to a 0 to 4 favorite traits throughout the rounds. Of course prioritizing the bottom path first for more money sooner, but I end up having to buy the grape shots early to keep up with the rounds. Just the boat is sadly not enough. This will be my defense until round 30 is beaten, because of the lead balloons. After round 30 I sell the boat and buy an uncross-pathed Chinook. Leaving it uncross-pathed for now is very important because it makes the stalling so much easier. And at this point the farming becomes exactly what it was in the one tower only video. Except I also get to babysit a farm on top of stalling every round. I am having so much fun. Talking about the farm, I can collect from it just a few rounds later and upgrade it to IMF loan right away, depositing the rest of the money I have left. Round 37 has leads again, but Chinook can't pop leads, so let's do some banking so I can afford special populations. I collect the 8k from the bank, start the round and instantly use the IMF ability, and upgrade the helipilot to tier 5. This has to go fast because of course I want the crate ability off cooldown as soon as possible. Then just deposit the leftover money into the bank. And now that special preparations is up, things will be smooth sailing for a while. Just stall every single round. Our program of stalling rounds gets interrupted on round 44 by buying Monkeynomics, the second farming tower for this run. I have to stall every single round for the heli ability anyways, so Nomics is literally perfect. It's practically made for challenges like this, and nothing prints money quite like centralized banking. The bank ability has a faster cooldown than the heli crate ability, so I'm guaranteed to get the most out of it. Anyways, back to our regularly scheduled program of stalling rounds now. After a quick skip forward, straight to round 95, you can see that I've farmed a very decent chunk of change. But as for 95, since it is a bit of a harder round, finally cross-path the helipilot with the bottom path to give the marine more attack speed. Then deploy your marine pretty much whenever you can, somewhere in the center. And most importantly, of course, set them to strong targeting. What a great tower. Special populations really can do it all. Well, no, it can't, because it can't beat round 99. The fortified DDTs are too much. So I'll sell the helipilot after starting the round to get one more crate and buy Legend of the Night with the top crosspath. Does this mean stalling is over? Can I finally relax? No. You can see the basic idea here on round 99, but there's only regular Moabs here, so not much to stall. So instead, let me demonstrate on round 100. Simply pop most of the round, in this case the bad layer and DDT insides, and then leave the biggest and slowest balloons of the round alive by teleporting the super monkey away. Logs is long enough that both ZOMGs and BFBs should take enough time to stall for both bank abilities. So farming continues, basically until the super monkey can't survive by itself anymore. And I will continue to stall like this for every single round until then. Round 155. The bank is only one round away from getting full, but the Legend of the Night can't beat this round by itself, so I finally have to sell the Monkeynomics. With over 2.3 million cash generated from it, I have 3,115,000 cash after selling it. That is a lot of money for a lot of micro, and I will be using all of it. But for now, I just buy an Ultra Boost and start Ultra Boosting the Super Monkey. This is the short time of the run where it's actually pretty relaxing for a little while. Farming time is over and the Ultra Boosted Legend takes care of these mid-game rounds very easily. Soon after, at round 182, the bats start becoming too much. Or at least the insights, as I can't pop them in time. These last two bats are perfectly spaced apart to just barely not go into the black hole together. In hindsight, I could have just popped the first bat, popped the DDTs and used the knockback to hold the ZOMGs back for a moment, before teleporting the Super Monkey away to make the black hole swallow the rest. But well, I would have had to sell for something sooner or later anyways, so it doesn't really matter too much. And that something is of course Izili. With her Hex, this round will be no problem. I'll also use her totem basically all the time from now on. I have plenty of lives and it's a nice buff to have. Thanks to Izili, it's all pretty easy until round 198, where multiple fortified DDT waves layered with the rest of the round overwhelm the legend. So I sell Izili and replace her with a Homeland defense. I need an option here that can be sold for Izili relatively early because of the many bats this round, and the Homeland ability will also help Legend of the Night to clear out the rest of the round a little bit earlier, so it's a great option. After using the ability, I sell it and get Izili back to start dealing with the bats this round. You'll notice that I basically never ever sell the Legend of the Night. If I sell it, the run is essentially instantly over, because I lose the 10 Ultra Boost stacks and there's no easy and importantly cheap way to get them back. It would be a huge waste of money every time, and without this buff the legend is simply way too weak to survive. So instead, all selling and buying micro will be done with the other tower. On round 199, you can see something I did quite a bit during these rounds, which is to simply just let all the DDTs of a round leak into the black hole. This isn't always necessary, but if the rest of the round is easy, it's no problem. It's almost always better to use the black hole whenever you can than it is to sell the other tower, because saving money is very important here. And here we are. Round 200 with only 2 towers. It's been pretty easy to get up here, and the round itself is of course very easy with Izili as well. So let's see how much further we can go. Welcome to the endgame. I'll guide you through the final rounds, starting with 223. Remember that after round 200, all the rounds were pretty hard and practically all of them took multiple attempts. Some had obvious best solutions and others were a little more complicated. For this round though, I will sell Ezili for a homeland and use the ability right away. Then quickly buy Ezili twice and let her hex take care of the bats. Fortified ZOMGs are a huge threat because of their insights, which Legend of the Night will struggle with, so I just leak all of those into the black hole. Round 224 is an easy one. Just hex all of the bats away and then sell Ezili for... sell her for a balloon crush? Yes, a balloon crush. The obvious choice would be something like BMA or XXXL trap. But at these high rounds and this far into the track, those are simply not able to keep up with this amount of balloons. So stalling is my only option. And well, a 520 Balloon Crush even without any buffs is simply the best. It handles all of these ZOMGs and their insights with absolutely no problem, letting the legend clean everything up. I sell the Crush just before the round ends to buy Ezili and save a bit of money on leveling her up from the natural XP gain. But it doesn't matter because round 225 starts with some DDTs. For DDTs, Absolute Zero is my best option. It's cheap and incredibly effective and gives Legend of the Night more than enough time to take care of the threat. After that, I sell it and buy Ezili back to pop the fortified bat. Then I just leave all of the ZOMGs alive by teleporting the Super Monkey away, but try to clump them up a little more so that they can all just leak into the black hole. Remember, using the black hole is almost always better than selling. 226 is also pretty easy. Sadly, at the end of this round, Ezili's Hex cannot take care of the fortified ZOMGs as well, even though it looks really close. So instead, I sell Ezili and get the Balloon Crush back, which also lets me stall for the black hole a little bit. I will say that one blunder I made was that I didn't stall enough like this. Anytime I use Crush should be a guaranteed black hole for the next round, but I somehow didn't really think of this during the challenge, so my stalling ends up being a little suboptimal. Moving on to round 227, I do a double Absolute Zero to take care of all the DDTs. Then get Ezili for the bat, and now I'm left with a ton of BFBs and ZOMGs. And the answer to that is of course Balloon Crush. On 228 I do a double Absolute Zero again, then consider retrying the round because a single DDT got through, but it's all fine. Then I quickly buy and sell Ezili 4 times to deal with all of these bats. You can probably tell here that I have a very unsteady hand while doing this. I'm not usually this shaky, I promise, it's just because I'm trying to do things too fast for my own good. After all that, just use Hex to pop the last bat in front at the last second and then just leak the final 2 bats into the black hole. Then, you might have guessed it, sell Ezili and buy Balloon Crush again. That was the hardest round so far, but it'll get worse. I start round 229 with an Absolute Zero and then another one, but this one is placed in the bottom right corner. And this different placement actually does matter in this case. Once the fortified DDTs are popped, sell the Ice Monkey for 2 Ezili rebuys. Let the last 2 bats leak into the black hole and, yep, sell Ezili for Crush. Unexpectedly, 230 is a very easy round, where I don't have to sell anything. I can just leak all of the bats into the black hole, and thanks to Balloon Crush, Legend of the Night can take care of the regular DDTs without a problem. For 231, I for the first time have to use an Absolute Zero despite there being no DDTs. This is to separate the bats from the ZOMGs and BFBs, which would otherwise get in the way and pop too early. Then I quickly buy Ezili twice, wait for the next Hex and wait until it jumps onto the last bat. Then quickly sell Ezili for Balloon Crush to take care of the rest of the round. 232 requires a double Absolute Zero again. Then I only have to Hex the first F-bat and can leak the rest of the bats into the black hole. Of course, for the rest of the round I get Balloon Crush back. And you won't believe it. At this very end of the challenge, I finally realized that I can in fact use Crush to deliberately stall out the rounds to get the black hole back off cooldown. But yeah, at this very end of the challenge. You might have been able to tell from the ever decreasing amount of money I have, but the final round is here. The final round, 233. This round I have to do what I said earlier would end the run. But there is no other choice. I start the round by changing out the Crush with an absolute zero. Use it to freeze the fortified DDTs, sell it and prepare a level 20 Ezili. Once Legend of the Night pops all of the DDTs, I sell it. I have to so that I can sell and rebuy Ezili 2 more times. 2 hexes for the first 2 fortified bats in front and 1 with deliberate placement and close targeting for the final bat in the back. After that, sell Ezili and with this final cash buy Legend of the Night and Bloon Crush one last time. Leak the 3 bats into the black hole and watch as these 2 clear out the rest of the balloons. Round 233 is beaten. It took quite a bit to get this far. The rounds from 200 to 233 took me about 3 hours to complete, including the time I spent doing nothing but looking at my screen in despair, trying to figure out how to beat some of these rounds without spending too much money. I think even if I still had the 10 Ultra Boost stacks on my Legend, I could not beat the very next round. I am simply out of money and thus out of options. This is the end for this challenge. Shoutout to Orange Bloon, by the way. He did this a few months ago already and he has some cool videos, so go check him out. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like and subscribe. Leave any suggestions or thoughts in the comments and check out my other video if you haven't already. But for now, until next time.